latest drama period piece film directed by Chloe Zhao, who, if you don't know who Chloe Zhao is, she directed Nomadland and the 2021 movie Eternals. But this time she's returning for another play inspired by William Shakespeare, and she's directing this. William Shakespeare and his wife Agnes celebrate the birth of their son Hamnet. However, when tragedy strikes and Hamnet dies at a young age, it inspires Shakespeare to write his timeless masterpiece Hamlet. And so, getting into the root and the root of this film, the things that I really that I think should be noted, that this film is not for anybody. It's not for the faint of heart, for anybody who, you know, who likes to really watch plays and really watch, plays showcase in front of them. This is for y'all. This is for who absolutely loves the style of filming and the overall the cinematography, the filming and the editing a part of it. This is definitely for you guys. But then also for those who you guys are going to be really engulfed by this movie, because once you really sit down and watch it and really taking notes by William Shakespeare and his wife, they experience tragedy because they're the birth of their son Hamnet in the towards the midway point of the film. But at the beginning of the film, it shows their life, and it shows their life before they even had children, and they planned on having it, and they planned on having children. They talked about it. They shared like their own input, their own insight on what that could be like, bringing children into the world. And also Jacob Jupe, who actually plays the brother of Noah Jupe in this film, actually. And I didn't even notice that until I saw it. This film really brings out the dialogue, and actually the heavy burden through the trials and tribulations of actually dealing with grief and pain and loss of a child at a certain young age. And it deals with that in so many ways. And see Buckley, who plays Agnes, the wife, in the film, and Paul Mescal, who plays, of course, William Shakespeare, they absolutely give some of the best performances I've seen all year. This is very brutal, very gut-wrenching, heartbreaking, and very tragic. And as it well is, it's dealing with tragedy and dealing with grief and loss. It deals with so much of that, the trials and tribulations, the heavy burdens, and you're really focusing and paying attention on your two main leads, because they give, like I said, they give some of the best performances all year. I would say this: bring something with you to watch this film, because this definitely will be a tearjerker for you, especially if you're a mother, if you're dealing with having children, and if you're a father having to deal with losing a child, and also having to deal with a son at a young age. You'll definitely be entrenched and be engulfed and be in tune with this, because it definitely tackles that in so many different essences. So I would say the three main biggest positives for this film. Number one is the two main lead performances. I think Jessie Buckley is going to run away with the Academy Award nominations, and also the Critic Choice Award nominations too. I think she might end up taking some for Best Actress, because she has an outstanding performance in this film. And I think Paul Mescal should be in the category. It should be in a category for Best Male Lead Actor, because he absolutely gives it all in this role, man. He really is entrenched in tune with it. And then the second main positive I would say is the overall music. It has the overall, like, if you was watching on stage or watching in the background of a play, you'll definitely feel that aspect of watching it when it's like it's a play, because it feels so many different ways. It tackles so many different burdens, and it keeps you like wondering and guessing what's going to occur next. And then the third main biggest pro I would say is definitely the direction from Chloe Zhao. I think this may be one of her best well directed, well shot, and well choreographed film that she's done. She completely just steals the show with the direction, man, and the filmmaking, and also the cinematography. It really encapsulates you in these moments in here. It really puts you on the heavier feet and the heavier burden. Of course, the pacing is very, very straightforward. It keeps you like it keeps going. It keeps having a feel good. It keeps having a feel way, and it lets you breathe. It takes a moment where it gets heavier, and then it goes lighter, and then it goes heavier, and it gets light, and it gets lighter, very lighthearted, and it lets you breathe. It gives you a moment to breathe, and but then in the second and third act, where it just gives it, where after they know about the grief and the pain and the tragedy about the loss of their son, it deals with that in such a way where it's so heavy, where it tackles that in such a way where it's so much of a burden, but it leaves you wondering, like, you know, it always makes you feel like you need to enjoy the things that are going on in life. It makes you feel like you need to enjoy the aspects of just what it's like in life, and what it feels like to, like, wanting to have children. It makes you wonder and guess, like, whether you want to have children, for women, for mothers in the world, and for, girlfriends, and, and wives. For women in general, do you want to have kids in life? It pontificates that thought and makes you ask that question. And then for the fathers in the world, it makes you wonder and guess, like, it really makes you wonder and guess what it would be like dealing with dealing with that dealing with that burden of, your wife, knowing that, losing your son, losing your kid. It kind of hurts. It hurts you in a lot of ways. Something that you can't get back, but you always got to enjoy the fine things in life. Oh, I play I plays Rob. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for watching. I'm just doing a movie review for Hamnet. Um, but thanks for coming in. But yeah, now I'm getting back to what I was saying. But yeah, it deals with a lot of men, a lot of male counterparts in life. It deals with that. It says, and asks the burden, and asks the question, like, and the direct message. What does it feel? What does it feel like dealing with that pain and burden, and knowing that you don't have your son? And do you want to have kids? And it makes you ask that question as well. And it keeps you guessing about what's happened next. It keeps you guessing about what can be occurred, and what could also happen next. So I don't really have no negatives for this film. Definitely give this a 4-star rating. It's definitely worthy of that, man. This will be in contention for Academy Awards, for Critics' Choice Awards, for Golden Globes. It definitely should be in contention for many award shows, because it leaves you with a really good purpose, and leaves you with a good message, and really outstanding direction, and outstanding performances by the main two leads, Jesse Buckley and, of course, Paul Mescal. As these characters, you really get engaged. You really get engaged with the topic for it, man. It really hits you in so many ways. So yeah, definitely check this one out. So you asked me, what is my hobby? Well, um, for me, I just like to be active. I like to go to the movie theaters. I like to go to the gym. I like to go to parties. I like to go to festivals. I like to go to concerts. It's many different other things I do outside. Well, outside of just doing, YouTube. But I also bring those levels of enjoyment that I have going to these, you know, festivals or concerts or whatnot. I bring that on to I bring that on to YouTube. I bring that to you to show you guys that I also like to be out in the forefront and be on stage and doing, like, be outside and being outside dealing and talking to people and doing, like, interviews. I like to interview and talk to directly to other celebrities as well. So I have a little bit of just those kind of things as a hobby. Me, my job basically, I'm outside of doing this, I'm more like a sales associate. So I'm more like that at this gas station. But yeah, that's just pretty much what I do. And if not doing that, like I said, I work around the house. I like to build fences and stuff. So yeah, I like to do that. And then pretty much, like I said, other than working, at my regular job at a gas station, I pretty much do this YouTube thing pretty much primarily full time. I already said, "Hey, what's going on? How's it going?" Um, but yeah, getting back to the movie. Yeah, definitely check this one out. It keeps you guessing and keeps you wondering, like, of dealing with pain and dealing with grief and dealing with loss. It's very sad. It's a very sad film. Very dark, very depressing. Um, you don't. There's no. There's not a happy ending at all in this film. So you don't go into it with expecting that kind of mode, but it will leave you guessing what could be the case and what could happen next. But yeah, overall, those are my thoughts on Hamnet. Check this one out and tell me what you guys think about it down in the comment section. I'll be getting on out of here, guys. I'm gonna take care of some other business, and yeah, I'm gonna leave you with guys with that. And I'll be coming back with another movie, Sentimental Value. That's the next one I'll be doing next. So be on the lookout for that.